Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ski the Dream. We are part of SkiTV.tv, and we are joined today by their founder and CEO, the founder and CEO of SkiTV, Geoff Harrison. Welcome, Geoff. Great to have
Hi,
you.
Michael. It's wonderful to be part of Ski the Dream. It's a fantastic initiative you have here.
Well, it's thank you for this opportunity. I appreciate it, and I want to be honest with people and say you and I met about 30 seconds ago.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. We've been talking for quite a while, but face to face, this is the first face to face meeting, and it's great.
Yeah. So, and I want to tell everybody the best thing they can do is to go to skitv.tv, where we will be posting this. But I want to start right in. You've started a ski. You're an entrepreneur, obviously. You've started a ski company at what you would have to, what I think everyone would agree is a difficult time for everybody, but maybe especially for the ski industry. So what I wanted to do was, we'll get into that a bit, but I wanted to ask you first, what was your inspiration for this? You're a former BBC news, reporter, personality, have had a career in television. What about Ski TV got you excited?
Well, it all goes back to when I was, funnily enough, a DJ back in the early 1980s.
You mean a radio?
Working as a DJ in an Australian ski resort, and I was in radio in Melbourne, and our ski resort, Mount Buller, was a short 3 hours away, and another ski resort, Falls Creek, was 5 hours away, and that's the home of the very well-known Stephen Lee and Bob Lee. I'm sure you know of Stephen. He was Australia's downhill champion and competed in quite a few Olympics and World Cups. And I found out that at that ski resort, there was actually no radio station at all, nothing. They had to ring up back in the 80s back to Melbourne to get the weather forecast.
Wow.
And because it was out in the middle of nowhere and on the top of a mountain, and I decided back then to get a radio station started, which took me about 8 years, and I got the radio station license from the federal government in Australia, which wasn't very easy to do. Getting any broadcast license is not easy to do, whether it be radio or television. And that channel called Snow FM Radio started in Australia in 1990 and ran through to about 95, 96. We were just a small little on-mountain radio station with 5 or 6 staff running the radio station at Mount Buller and Falls Creek. And basically we got taken over by the big boys who moved in and offered the resorts a lot more money for them to come on, and we couldn't match that, so it was a great experience. And then coming up to the late 90s, 2000s, once the internet had started to kick in, I had an idea to start something like a streaming television channel, which back in the 2000s didn't exist because we didn't have the technology to run video seamlessly like we do now, like with 4G and 5G now. We don't have that nothing like that existed back in the early 2000s. And basically 5 years ago, I said to myself, why don't we get this thing called Ski TV running? Because there's heaps of people making content out there, and there wasn't a ski channel across the world in places, especially like the UK and Europe. And that's where the idea came from. And that's what I did. I got the trademarks, I got the name, I got the content agreements, I got the licenses, I got a whole bunch of things, about 100 different things to do to actually start a channel such as Ski TV. And that's where it is now. It's a streaming channel. We also have broadcast licenses in the UK, and it's on Roku in America. It's on Freeview in the United Kingdom. To 20 million homes in the United Kingdom can receive Ski TV directly on their big screens now. And we have another big company in America, Vizio, who are looking at putting it into an additional 20 million screens across America as well. So that's a brief précis of where Ski TV started from and how it got to where it is today. And we're getting a tremendous response from skiers and snowboarders from across the world at the moment.
That's great. Now, Vizio is, of course, a television manufacturer, makes smart TVs. So I assume your service, just like YouTube or any other app, would kind of be part of that service when you bought the television, which is kind of
Yeah, yeah, they have a system called SmartCast, which is actually built into the Vizio TVs, and that carries about 30 channels automatically. So you get those channels free. And currently, SkiTV is in negotiation with Vizio to embed SkiTV onto that SmartCast platform, which is a very good thing because Vizio are in, I think they're in 20 million homes at the moment in the United States, a very well-known brand, and this will be tremendous for SkiTV. But we're also on Roku, of course, Roku in America, and that is bundled in with Netflix. So basically, anyone who has Netflix in the United States already has Roku, and Roku is actually Roku owns Netflix. It's not the other way around. A lot of people think Roku is this tiny little thing, but Roku is a big thing across the world in the OTT space, which is over-the-top broadcasting. And that's what basically Roku and Netflix are. They're over-the-top apps that can get onto your TV, and you can, and this is exploding across the world right now. And it's really taking on broadcast TV for its money at the moment.
Over the top is what you are at Ski TV, and over the top is kind of what makes you possible.
Yeah, we're a mix. We're both free to air broadcast and over the top, because we have our UK broadcast license, which is an Ofcom license, which in the United States is equivalent to your FCC. The FCC control all the broadcasting licenses in America, and Ofcom, which is the Office of Media and, you know, all that sort of thing in the UK, is the licensing body which gives out the licenses to allow things like SkiTV to broadcast into homes, the same as the BBC or CNN or whatever. But that's a long process to get one of those. From memory, it was a 176-page application form. It takes 6 months to apply. You have to pay $5,000 just for the application, which is non-refundable. So if they say no, you lose all that money. So this is a very big barrier to entry for a lot of people who want to get into the broadcasting realm. Once you realize that getting on broadcast TV or even over the top TV is quite an extensive process. You have to have a play out provider. You have to have content agreements. You have to have 100 different things to make it happen. But it's not a short process. It's not an easy process, such as putting a video onto YouTube, for instance. You've
got to deal with the government, all the government, all the
government you're dealing with. Yeah, and it's they're very strict about who they give out their broadcasting licenses to, and can be very expensive. We were lucky that we didn't have to pay for ours, but to buy one these days can cost you up to $100 million to buy a national free-to-air broadcasting license.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: what, in your view, as the founder and CEO, what is the essence? What is Ski TV all about? And who's your potential audience? Who are you really trying to reach?
Yeah, well, Ski TV is what we call a lifestyle channel. Now, there's a lot of channels like Eurosport, which are fantastic, and they broadcast the World Cup events and the Olympics and all that sort of thing. However, Eurosport can't get into the minutiae of programming like Ski TV does, because we can put on something like a resort overview. We can put on a profile of an athlete. We can put on a region overview. We can put on a ski shop, you know, and we've got quite a few of those on Ski TV that just give us an overview of the services they provide. We do things like food and wine reviews of things in resorts. On Ski TV, you'll find ski reviews of equipment reviews from various manufacturers. Plus all the big guys like Atomic and the Faction Collective and all those guys provide us with their content. So Ski TV is a magazine type format where you get a bit of everything as well as racing. I mean, we still have racing. We've got the World Pro Ski Tour, who are broadcasting all of their content with us. And I'm sure you know the guys there, John and all the guys there at the World Pro Ski Tour. They're very, very famous in America. But yeah, SkiTV is not just a racing channel. It's a channel for everything to do with skiing, snowboarding, Nordic, whatever. Doesn't really matter. It's about 10, as you know, 10 or 15 different genres of ski that can be covered. And eventually we will be doing things like a dedicated snowboard channel, a dedicated Nordic cross-country channel, and dedicated retro ski, which we're very excited about, because the retro ski channel, and we're partnering up with guys like Jay Albert. I'm sure you know Jay Albert. He's very famous in the United States. He was the stunt man in Downhill Racer, the movie with Robert Redford. He actually did all the skiing for that. So he's got a ton of content. He's got about 5,000 hours going back to the early the 1960s. And we're going to create a channel. Yeah, just called Retro Ski, just old stuff, you know,
idea.
for the people of our vintage, you know, not maybe a young guy like you might not be interested, but you know, some of us older guys
we're not going to be like doing that. I'm not going to be doing any downhill racing myself, but it's interesting that movie starring Robert Redford not only helped to make him a star, but led him to develop the whole Sundance property resort film festival. Really came out of his love of skiing, and I believe it was right about that time that he invested in the real estate there and so on. It's interesting about skiing, isn't it? Because it's not just a sport, it's not just a lifestyle, it's not just a fashion statement. I would maybe put that all together and say one of the things that I love about it is it's kind of a way of life and a way of thinking and a way of being in the world. Would you agree with that?
Oh, totally. And I look at it from an alpine way. Now, you know, I look at skiers as alpine enthusiasts, fans of the mountains, you know, and everything that goes around that. So, and quite, you know, more and more and more, I feel that myself, when I go to, because I'm usually out of pandemic time filming and skiing in places like France, Austria, Italy, and Switzerland, more and more I'm totally enjoying the outside ski activities, you know, things like just hanging around the village, getting to know the people, getting to know the whole mountains. And we're very, very lucky here in Europe because our mountains run all year round. You know, our ski resorts never close here. Places like Chamonix in France have a population of maybe 12,000 people permanently based in the resort, you know, and it's a really big town. It's so they don't stop. Nothing, just because the snow goes away, it's still a fantastic alpine area. So to me, skiing and snowboarding and everything around it is something you can do for the rest of your life. Right. You don't have to be in your, and we've all done it in our 20s and 30s. We've all been the wild, you know, get out there every single day and throw yourself off the mountain on the black runs. But it doesn't have to be like that. And for older people, to me, one of my most wonderful things to do is just to get on a nice, easy run and go top to bottom on the mountain and just enjoy the scenery. And it just takes you away from everything, you know, and enjoy the nature and the beauty of it all is just mind-blowing, man. It's just so incredible. I'm sure you do that too. And it's just when you get older, you can appreciate it.
I do that you know, I think that one of the things that's fun, I started skiing really late. I was, I think, 33 in Vermont when I started. So I'm not a great skier. I would never pretend to be, but what I would say is that any skier, if they can have that experience, if they just get on runs and trails that are easy for them, you know, that are not as hard, you know, it's not the hardest, but, you know, it's easy. You don't have to really think about skiing it. You can just experience it. And then there are times when, of course, you want to challenge yourself. You want to, you know, say, geez, can I get down this hill? Those moments too. But that's I think that's part of the whole skiing gestalt. And I think you're identifying the mountain lifestyle because it is a year-round thing. It's
Yeah,
not just when there's snow on the ground. In the U.S. as well, many, if not most resorts are working very hard to have compelling things to do in the summer, particularly for families. So I think that maybe that's a
exactly.
worldwide trend. Now where are you now, Geoff?
I'm based in Amsterdam in the Netherlands, and I'm here pretty much full time. SkiTV's head office is in the UK, but I prefer to be here in Europe because the ski resorts are just down the road. It's a 9-hour drive down the road, and I'm in France, Italy, Austria, and Switzerland. So to me, even though I am a Brit originally and lived most of my life in Australia, I'm based in Amsterdam for the last 17 years on and off, and I just find it a tremendous place to be. And plus we have 2 million active Dutch skiers here out of a population of 23 million people. So there's a massive, massive enthusiasm.
Right?
Downhill, yes, downhill, and other a lot of cross-country skiers, and of course the Netherlands are #1 in speed skating across the world. They've just won the World Cup championships as well. Yeah. So the Dutch are so enthusiastic about winter sports. It's unbelievable. If you go down to France and Austria in a normal season, most people who are there are the British and the Dutch. They really support the local industry there. It's tremendous. What
are the closest resorts to where you're sitting right now?
Amsterdam, the Amsterdam Indoor Ski Center.
Well, there's two of those. How about for indoor skiing? How about
actual ski resorts? You mean?
If you wanted to go skiing tomorrow or today, you would. Where would you go?
I'd go to Germany. I'd head on the road out of Amsterdam. Within an hour or so, I'm out across the German border. I'm straight on the Autobahn south, and I can do my 150 miles an hour or 200 and something kilometers per hour and get down there pretty fast on the Autobahn. And great resorts like Garmisch-Partenkirchen are there. They're just south as you get into Bavaria down south. It's just wonderful. You have hundreds and hundreds of ski areas there right on your doorstep. Because if you look at the whole of Europe, over 3,000 ski areas and resorts in Central Europe, mostly based around the Alps region. And that's why I love to base myself in Chamonix when I'm there, because in Chamonix, France, within 100 kilometers, you have 4 different countries. And so, you'll get in a place in France like La Rosière, which is in the Savoie. You will get on a La Rose, you'll get on a ski lift. At the bottom, you'll be in France, and at the top, you'll be in Italy. And everything is completely different. All the language, just on the 2 lift guys. The lift guy at the bottom's French, and at the top, he's Italian, and it's completely different. It's right on the border, which is wonderful culture to do that.
Yeah, that's, it's a great way to see Europe, if not the world. Now, when you think of SkiTV, you definitely think of it as a worldwide brand. In other words, you're in Europe, I'm in the U.S., but there's skiing all over the place. There's skiing in Japan, there's skiing in Asia. There's skiing can be found
Australia,
Russia,
New Zealand, everywhere.
China,
Russia,
of course, Australia and New Zealand. So how do you envision developing a worldwide brand?
Yeah, well, SkiTV at the moment is the general channel. The SkiTV channel is there for the whole world, and the feedback we get is that people in different countries love looking at skiing in different countries. The people in America are quite fascinated with ski in Europe and love to see all the vision of the villages there, and the Europeans like to look at what's going on in America. So I don't see any kind of local thing in the future. When SkiTV gets stronger, I would like to make various channels which are geo centric. So there would be a channel just for America, and a channel just for Europe, and a channel just for Oceania, Australia, New Zealand, because there is definitely enough content to do that. It all comes down to the cost. There's a cost to running these channels. They're not free.
Right.
We've got playout providers. We have some of the platforms charge us a fee to be on there, and thank goodness now we're getting a bit of advertising revenue on the channels, because the advertisers are realizing that this is a fantastic audience to reach, and they want to reach those. And after a while, we'll grow and get, you know, stronger. We do have a seed round on at the moment for about 250K, where people can come in and actually own part of SkiTV, and they can own some shares in SkiTV for as little as a couple of $1,000 if they like.
What's the best?
Because
pardon me, but what's the best way to contact you for that?
They can just contact me at Geoff@skitv.tv. That's Geoff, the English saying, and I can shoot them over a document. It's also featured, that raise, on venturecapital.nl, which is a Dutch venture capital firm, interface firm, which matches investors with. I'll put that on the screen. I'll put the details on the screen as well later on. But that's a good way too, because people can actually own. You know, you never know where these things are going to go. I mean, the guys who started, and I'm not comparing myself in any way to these major platforms, but all these guys who started things like Facebook and Netflix and all these things and Roku, they all started somewhere very, very small, very tiny. And you never know where these things go. And that's what I'm saying. And SkiTV is saying to people, if you want a lot of people might want to put a bit of media in their share portfolio. And sit on it for 5 years and see what happens.
I would think that people who lots of how can I put this impolitically? Lots of rich people like to ski.
Exactly.
So there's sort of a built-in possibility there. Let me ask you also about the challenges you're going to face, because skiing. I had a friend named Bill Bostic in Aspen in the skiing industry. And he used to say, skiing, there's not a nickel in it. It's a tough industry. But having said that, I would ask you, given the inherent challenges of skiing, you also have the phenomenon of the pandemic and coronavirus worldwide. Mm-hmm. First of all, let's address that. How has that affected the ski industry? And I'm asking you that as somebody who kind of has a broad view of things and talks to a lot of people. Is skiing going to survive the pandemic?
Well, I think it will, as long as we all accept that this year is a complete write-off. You know, I'm not talking about next month, 2 months, 3 months. I'm talking the whole year, up until the opening of the ski season in 2021, December. And just recently, we had the Italians who were all ready to go, and they had all their resorts ready to get up and running by a certain date. And the Italian government turned around and said, with 1 day's notice, nope, it's all off, changed their mind. So we have to accept that sort of thing can happen at any time through the whole year until the solution is, obtained via vaccinations, via mass testing, via whatever. It's going to be the end game. But I really do think that this year is a total write-off. In as far as SkiTV goes, we are not dependent on the ski industry from physically working, because in some ways the pandemic is very good for SkiTV, because people are stuck at home, and it gives them a chance to actually see what we do and who we are and discover us. Mm-hmm. And that's happening with streaming television right around the world. It's one of the only businesses that are starting to explode now, because who knows how long this thing is going to last for? Who knows? We don't know. I'm hoping it could be December 2021, but I'm 50-50 on that. And the thing is that the skiers won't lose their enthusiasm for the sport because they're not doing it. I think in a way they miss it. And in a way, I think it makes it all the more special for when we do get back And when the
Yeah.
ski industry does rebound, it's going to be 10 times more special to be there and just doing basic things like skiing down a run and getting on a lift and doing an après ski with somebody, you know, and just being able to hang out in a bar and shoot the breeze about what great runs you've done. I mean, that seems like a dream now to be able to do that
Well,
in many places of the world.
how about sitting on a lift next to somebody you don't know, or being in a gondola and striking up those, you know, very intense, detailed 4-minute conversations, and then never sing them
Exactly. And then you're their best friend. You suddenly become best friends, you know. And
then that's it. You never see them. But no, I think
that's right.
Obviously I wouldn't be doing this with you if I didn't think skiing had a future. But the other thing, you know, the other challenge is something they take very seriously in Aspen, where I was based for 13 years. They take climate change really seriously, the Aspen Skiing Company in particular. And have you seen any impact that climate change has had, or are you anticipating will have in the near future?
I think that climate change is real, and I think that climate change is affecting things at the extremes. So it's making the summers hotter, and I think it's making the winters colder, and I think we're getting more snow than people are anticipating. I think that climate change is not an issue for the ski industry. I think as long as we get, you know, a decent amount of snow that we can ski on, because remember, a lot of places, and I grew up skiing in Australia, we're very happy with 1/2 meter of snow. We don't need 3 meters of snow.
How many inches?
You know, 1/2 meter of
how
snow.
How many feet is that?
Oh, about 1/2 meter is about 2 feet, I suppose.
2 feet of snow.
You know,
okay. Yeah.
2 feet of snow. I mean, as long as you know, and definitely in Australia, we're not really into powder because, you know, powder only happens every few years. But I think that there'll always be ski resorts, especially in Europe. And I just don't think the snow is just going to disappear over 10 years. I don't think so. Even with climate change, I don't think it's going to. I think we'll get more patchy. We might get one season bad and then a few good seasons, and then you can't, you know, won't be able to rely on it all the time. But I doubt very much if just all the snow is going to disappear. I just don't think that's going to happen.
I think we will also see, if we aren't already, the season squeezing into a shorter, smaller window. Maybe it starts a week.
Or conversely later. Conversely later.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, I think it's all moved on a month because of climate change, you know. And ski resorts, I think, must think about, because in Australia, usually by September, October, it was all over. But in Australia, it's going through to Christmas now. I mean, it's crazy. And then you've got brilliant snow, you know, 3 or 4 feet of snow on the ground and no skiers because the season is over and they've closed the lifts. And that's sometimes the most perfect time to ski in the spring. You've got beautiful sunny weather. I know it's warmer, but hey, there's places in Europe where you can ski all year round, you know, on the glaciers in Switzerland. You can ski in 35 degrees Celsius if you want, you know.
Yeah. Well, I think the fact that people are still skiing during a pandemic, and many are, with masks and distancing and so on, you know, says a lot for the sport. And also, I think you're right. I know for me, we were ready. My wife and I were about to go to Grand Targhee, which is right near Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we were supposed to fly out on March 17th. And that was when the pandemic hit. And I remember putting on Facebook, asking people, do you think we should go? And at the beginning of the week, it was about 50-50. Oh, you know, live your life, you know, don't let it get in the way. By the end of the week, it was like 90-95% saying it's not worth it. So That's that's last winter we didn't go, and this winter we're obviously not going. So that's 2 winters without skiing, and none of us know how many winters we have left. And also, if you're the way I think of it, if you're still skiing, you're still living. You're still doing something pretty great. Well, listen, I want to thank you so much, Geoff. This has been a lot of fun. I would probably close by asking you, is there anything you would like to say to the skiers out there about keeping the faith through these, admittedly hard times?
Sure. Well, I think I would advise them to watch one movie, if you haven't done so far, which is called Eddie the Eagle.
Oh, I've seen it. Yeah. Very funny.
Yeah. And it's a great movie because it shows you that no matter how far behind the 8 ball you're coming from, you can always triumph usually something's going to happen. You're going to get somewhere, you know, if you put your mind to it and keep going. And as a very famous old UK Prime Minister said, called Winston Churchill, one of his sayings was, when the going, if the going is terrible, keep going. If the going is bad, keep going. That's it. You've got to keep going, and we will all get through this, and things will get back to normal. It may not be as normal as it was before, but in the ski industry and in the ski world, we've been doing the mask, we've been doing the social distancing, we've been doing all that for many, many years. It's not that different. All we need is the playgrounds to do our thing on, and people will be respectful and people will obey the rules. And there will come a time when we will all have an après-ski beer together and laugh about it and say, it was a horrible time, but we all got through it. And this makes this moment so much sweeter and so much better. And it's going to be like that for everybody. And I'm looking forward to that.
Well put. And, skiing has always been about survival. Sometimes literally, if there's an avalanche, but more metaphorically, it's a tough industry. It's you really got to love it to stay in it typically. But that also means that the people you encounter in that industry have a love and a passion for what they're doing or where they're living, or, what it's like to just take a nice cruise down an easy slope one day, all of those things. So thank you so much.
200 million people, Michael, can't be wrong, across the world, if not more. And this time next year, when the Beijing Olympics are on, it's going to be fantastic, and people are just going to have a wonderful time. I always know and I've been to 2 Winter Olympics as a journalist, one in '88 in Calgary and one in '94 in Norway. And when that happens, the whole world focuses on skiing and snowboarding and our world, which is fantastic. I'm looking.
I went to the Lake Placid games where Americans became familiar with the phrase, "Do you believe in miracles?" So that's
exactly.
We don't quite need
the hockey
a miracle,
game. I remember it well. I remember it well. Yes.
So there's lots of reason to be hopeful for the future. Well, Geoff, thank you so much, and we'll do this again. And this
Perfect.
is
Anytime.
Ski to Dream. I'm Michael Conniff with Geoff Harrison, and we're going to make this a regular feature of SkiTV. So thanks so much for being with us, Geoff, and best of luck.
Thank you, Michael, and congratulations on the program. It's great to have your program on SkiTV as well, and we'll catch you later.
All right.
Thanks.
Take care.
Hi, and welcome to SkiTV, the coolest channel. SkiTV is the leader in ski and snowboard coverage. We offer a range of snow and alpine-related programming all in one place. SkiTV has numerous channels around the world. You can find us on OTT and streaming platforms everywhere, bringing you thousands of hours of ski-related content all day, every day. Ski season never ends on SkiTV. We'll bring you the best in lifestyle programming featuring fashion, fitness, food and wine, travel, destination resorts, and bring you up close to the action. SkiTV features interviews with legends as well as the champions of today and tomorrow. You'll find major racing series, including the World Pro Ski Tour, and that's not all. If you're into the ski and snowboard lifestyle, live for the mountains, and feel spiritually connected to all things alpine related, then let SkiTV bring you the kind of coverage that only we can offer. You can also check out our online magazine at skitvmagazine.com, where you'll receive coverage for beginners, ski aficionados, or people who are just in it for the lodge, music, or après-ski lifestyle. SkiTV Magazine offers insights from around the world. If it has a fresh coat of powder, SkiTV is on it on any screen in print or in motion 24 hours a day. If you are a ski resort, we want to hear from you too, as we make our own content and would love to feature your mountain. Join us on our main page at skitv.tv, where you can become a member, watch live feeds from major events worldwide, and immerse yourself into the incredible world of ski lifestyle from any device all year round. Watch SkiTV, the coolest channel on any device. We're waiting for you.